Good morning and welcome into the WK page. I am George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here for Weather Now, Kentucky. We do have multiple tornado warnings live at this moment throughout the western portions of the state here. So let's go ahead and give you a briefing on what's actually occurring here. So first round of storms here. We talked about that this would be, a potential. Some models showed it, some models didn't. But however, storms are spawning here in the morning and they're taking advantage of really, not a whole lot of energy. It's actually at play. So it kind of gives me a little bit of concern for later today. However, let's start real quickly with where the warnings are. Tornado warnings out here for Robards and Niagara, Kentucky. Go ahead and read that here. So for the thunderstorm warning for, that's the wrong one. We needed the tornado warning. There we go. Tornado warning for southeastern Henderson County and northwestern Kentucky until 6:30 a.m. Central Time, with 15 minutes left on that. At 5:59, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Roberts, or 9 miles south of Henderson, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Radar indicated, of course, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Also, wanted to say, sorry for the delay on getting this started. There have been several radars out, and it's also affected how swiftly the National Weather Service pushes out warnings. So there was a bit of delay getting it to us as well. It's been a really weird morning. Half the radars in the state are out and they're slowly coming back. So I'm not really sure what's actually happening. It's like that for everyone, not just for us. What it's also done is impact how quickly warnings are being able to be given out, because we're having to use radars from different sites, from other sites, to make up for the fact that some radars aren't working correctly. But right now, let's go and take a look and see if we see any type of rotation throughout here. We do see a big wall of winds. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of rotation per se, but we do see where we have these strong lines of winds, right? And then we kind of have a divot right there, and it comes back out. That's probably where your tornado is at that point. Where it starts to come back out is where that tornado likely is. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that area. Kind of identify it for you a little bit better here. Looks like it's heading more for Crisney and Ritchie, Kentucky, out there in the northwestern portions of the state. And again, this is round one of many that we expect today that's actually in Indiana. Let's go take a look down here toward the Henderson areas, just south of that. Take a look at the velocity charts here and see what we have going on. Again, same thing. We're not really seeing a couplet, but we're seeing the divot. So this is more of your idea of a spin-up tornado. Now, again, it's still respectable tornado. You have to just respect it. But just to show you, this is kind of more of an... When you see the divot like this, that's more of your QLCS spin-up tornado. Still, of course, obviously a tornado. But it's just kind of... It's not... It shouldn't be as strong is what I'm trying to say. And that one is heading more for the St. Joseph's area, Kurtzville, places like that. Now, we'll see if they extend that warning or if they allow it to expire. Outside of that, severe thunderstorm warnings do line the entire line for 70-mile-per-hour winds. That is the main threat this morning. 70-mile-per-hour winds and some small to moderate hail is the main threats. But, of course, a few tornadoes did spawn, or tornado warnings did spawn back out here in the northwestern corner of the state. And again, apologies for the delay on the broadcast. We were just trying to measure and make sure they were actual verified warnings. Because there have been so many issues this morning with the National Weather Service getting out warnings, as well as the radars not working properly. That's currently what we're looking at here. I'm going to take a look real quick and see if they're actually going to continue this warning or not. By the way, good morning. Hello. I see that you're going to extend the warning for Indiana. Extend warning for Indiana. Extended. I don't think they're going to extend the one for Kentucky. So currently, no tornadoes in Kentucky. However, you can see the top part of the line is still pretty warm here. So I want to stay online here with you. Also to note with this, it's 70-mile-per-hour winds across the entire line for the most part. The southern side is still kind of staying steadily weaker at this point. We'll see how that continues to trend here. And if no tornado warning spawn over the next 3 minutes, then I'm going to show you the latest information from model data and kind of go over that with you and kind of give you the latest. So now that we have a moment here, I just want to say good morning. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster with WNK. If you wouldn't mind, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen there. Get this video out on your news feed for your friends and family to view it as well. We have this line of storms, which to me, if this one is going to be, if this one's this severe already, today may be a long day. Because quite frankly, there's only a small percentage now of the amount of energy that's going to be available later on. And if these storms are already doing this, then we have a long day ahead of us. If you haven't seen it yet, by the way, the National Weather Service did upgrade their warnings or their outlook maps. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We posted it earlier this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at that live here on stream with you guys, if my internet ever wants to do it. Owensboro is getting hit now. Yeah, strong severe thunderstorm there. Not tornadic at this moment, but they were tornado warned at one point. I gotta get some water. Okay. This is the National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center. This is their outlook map for today, all of Tuesday, so it doesn't matter which round it is. They have a moderate or a 4 out of 5 risk for north central and northeastern Kentucky, basically from Lexington all the way over to Hardin County or Breckinridge County, the points north, and then an enhanced or level 3 out of risk for pretty much all of Kentucky, but a level 2 out of 5 risk for far western Kentucky. To go along with that, the tornado outlook has been increased as well. So they have, I want to break down this real quickly and make sure there's no more warnings coming up just yet. Okay. Thank you to everyone that's sharing the video, by the way. I appreciate you guys. I'm just trying to catch up on. Okay, I see it. Okay, so this is the tornado outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. They have a 2% risk in green, 5% risk in brown. Yellow is a 10% risk to 14% risk, and red is the 15 to 29% risk, which is quite rare for Kentucky. You also see this big hatched area. The hatched area is a greater than 10% probability of a significant tornado of EF2 to EF5. So you kind of just get the stage of what's coming today. Guys, the timing is pretty much all day, so a lot of you are going to ask about timing. The thing that we noticed with model data, we make sure that we don't have any more. Okay, still just severe thunderstorm warnings. Hang on. I'm trying to push water because I think I'm having a freaking sinus attack this morning. So the thing that we've noticed with model data is that it doesn't matter how many rounds that we have. Now, I'm going to look here just to make sure that I'm not putting my foot in my mouth with new data. One sec. Yes, so still the same thing as a couple hours ago when I looked. So the thing that we noticed here with model data, and it's kind of a rare thing to occur here, and I want everyone to kind of pay attention. Kind of a rare thing to occur here is what we're looking at for today, and that is a solid state setup, or a setup that it doesn't really matter how many rounds you get when you get those rounds, because the environment is so deep with moisture at each and every layer. So typically, if we were to see multiple rounds of storms, we'd think that eventually the atmosphere would get worked over, and then we wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. With a day like today, it really wouldn't matter how many storms come through here. So I'm going to show you just for example. Dew point is one quick measurement of how an environment is either stable or unstable. It's not the only measurement, but it's just one quick glance. So we know that there's storms going on in western Kentucky now, right? We know they're going on from Owensboro to Madisonville. They're all producing 70-mile-per-hour winds, and we know that's occurring, right? Dew points still stay above 60, and stay above, I mean, it doesn't matter. And so for those of you that are asking about timing or how many rounds we're looking at here, basically just expect the threat all day long, because you can kind of see from this model yourself here, the threat goes off and on all day long until around, let's go ahead and put this in the local viewer so you can see it for yourself. So this is now 6 a.m. Or 7 a.m. Eastern time. Shows that supercell and then weakening out, and then a couple of thunder showers. And then around 11 a.m. to lunchtime, another line of supercells might be quite strong for western and central and eastern Kentucky, right? And then a break, and then the actual main front comes throughout tonight and this evening. So, again, off and on pretty much all day for pretty much all of Kentucky. And that's kind of what the outlook shows as well. I don't know why I canceled that out or why I closed that out. Let's go ahead and put this back up. So, I mean, if you're asking for locations and stuff as well, just want to point out to you that every single spot in Kentucky is under a severe risk. At this point, the fancy colors really don't matter too much. Unless you're in the red zone, then you know you're in the absolute bullseye, right? At this point, the fancy colors don't matter. Everywhere in Kentucky is at a 3 out of 5 risk or higher, with the exception of 4 or 5 counties out in western Kentucky. So that tells us to tell everyone in Kentucky to be informed, updated on what to expect, and prepare your safety measures, because the entire state is under the same threat as their neighbors, you know. So if you're asking about specific timings or counties, the threat is quite literally for much of the day on and off, right? And the threat is quite literally for all of Kentucky, pretty much all day on and off. So the answers are going to be the same regardless of where you're at. Let me go ahead and pull the radar up again just to show you real quickly what we're looking at here. If you are just now tuning in here, good morning. I am George Herbig, Chief Forecaster with WNK. We had a couple of overachieving storms here to start our morning. They actually went tornado warned a little bit closer to 6:45, so we're a bit late getting the broadcast going. Most of that was us trying to actually verify whether they were legit warnings or not, because the National Weather Service is having issues getting warnings out because multiple radars across the country are down. They are getting slowly fixed, but we are trying to recuperate from that. So they started out here toward Morganfield and western Henderson and have now pushed in more toward Owensboro and Tell City. Let's go and take a look at the storm relative velocity here, or the high-res velocity here. We can go ahead and measure this up here and show you that 65 to 70 mile per hour winds are absolutely occurring within this line. Now, that is on the Indiana side of the line. Down here on Owensboro's side, it looks more like 60 mile per hour winds at this time, and maybe some small hail included with it. We also see several lightning strikes embedded with that line as well. We're seeing some rain pop up in front of this, so it should help to pull a little bit of energy away from this and keep this line pretty much tamed throughout the morning. I will tell you that pretty much overachieved. That should not have gone tornado. There's barely any surface energy at play. Well, any surface instability at play, I should say. However, we're keeping an eye on things for you guys. We're gonna keep it live here with you. Also, we'll be live throughout the actual event, pretty much all day on and off, whenever it needs to occur. So if you want to, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, or follow us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. And on top of that, we'll be posting several updates throughout the day as well. We'll keep it live here with you guys and watch us with you here live on Facebook and YouTube this morning. I don't think it's going to leak in the storms for later, no. We're going to keep everyone posted. It doesn't matter where you are. We got you guys covered. Good morning, Deb. Good morning, Jenna. Good morning, Big Red on YouTube. Rewind of April 3rd, 1974 is what someone said on YouTube. My best comparison for this, and please no one freak out, my best comparison for this event is probably closer to December 10th of 2021 for this event. The reason for that is just the amount of shear and instability that we have at the surface. And it's absurd levels. It's absurd levels projected by the model data. Now we'll have to wait and we'll have to see. Model data is telling us that this first round is not really going to impact too much of the second round or third round or whatever, how many rounds you want to call it. I'm not even calling it multiple rounds at this point. I'm just calling it one big time window. Because it's just happening on and off. We'll see how the repeated rounds affect the atmosphere, but model data is telling us that it's not going to affect it. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to affect it, but we're going to have to just wait and see and just kind of look at how these rounds are affecting different time frames of the day. The best place to go in the basement is just somewhere away from the metal pipes. By the way, thank you to everyone that sent stars already. I appreciate you guys and all the shares and likes on Facebook. I'm going to ask you guys that are in here for all of our videos and here throughout the day on YouTube and Facebook, especially on Facebook. Please, throughout the day as we're going live and stuff, don't forget to hit the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. You're gonna hear me say a lot throughout the day, because that is just so important. You guys don't realize how many people message us and tell us that they only got informed because one of their friends had shared their video and shared our video and they just happened to see it, right? So please, that's really, really useful. You're gonna hear me say a lot today. Don't get in the way out of it because it really does work. So thank you guys a lot for your help with that throughout the day. Kelly with the 99 stars, I appreciate that. Ashley with 20 stars, thank you so much. Ashley sent another 50 stars before that. Thank you so much for that as well. Good morning, Smoke on YouTube. Hello. Severe thunderstorm warning, including Beaver Dam, Hartford, and Centertown, just went out for winds up to 70 mile per hour. Tornado is also possible within that storm. Mariah with the 12 stars, thank you very much. Just want to see. I'm seeing different stuff in the chat here. All right, a tornado watch has been issued, and it does go until noon. Now, I do expect multiple tornado watches to go throughout the day. This tornado watch is for this line here. This tornado watch does include everyone in pink or purple. I'm going to take a picture of this real quickly. One second while I get this out to the social medias here. Let me go and pull that back up here so you guys can see it. Tornado watch has been issued until noon. Now, this is probably the first of many tornado watches to come out today. Well, just one second, guys. I'm just getting this tornado watch posted. Okay. Someone asked if there's a current tornado warning for Owensboro. There is not. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for Owensboro. Jenna, that was for a tornado watch. Sheila with the 99 stars, thank you so much for your kindness. Stacy with 99 stars as well, thank you so much. Summer is not weakening. I want to make it very, very clear today, guys, because there's going to be a lot of people that are used to things weakening when they get to Kentucky. This is not going to be a weakening storm until at least 5 or 6 p.m. I want to make that very, 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 very abundantly clear. And the reason I want to do that is because I don't want anyone thinking that, usually Kentucky storms weaken as they get here, and which is the case. But today, there is no weakening. I want to make that very, very clear. Madison, I think that would be first of many tornado watches to come today. Funab, yeah, Louisville, yeah, it would be. This line would be in Louisville in about an hour. Yes. Madisonville now higher than 5%. We can go back to the Storm Protection Center Yes, you're at 10 to 14% as well. Pretty much everyone in Kentucky is at 10 to 14%. Northern Kentucky is at a 15 to 29%. I'm just looking at different things real quickly, trying to get all the way caught up here. Okay. Pamela says, or Pamela with 99 stars. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Amber, it looks like this line will be near the Louisville area at that time, so it's, you got to just wait and see at that point. Again, for those of you that are just now tuning in and catching up here with us, I know a lot of folks are just now waking up here. Tornado warnings did go active. There are currently no tornado warnings in Kentucky. However, there are several severe thunderstorm warnings at this time for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and they all have tornado possible tags with them. We are under a tornado watch at this point. Let me go ahead and pull that back up here real quickly. I might as well just leave that up. We're under a tornado watch for the folks in purple. Basically, from the Western Kentucky parkways to points north. I do think that this is just first of many tornado watches to come today and severe watches altogether. Basically going from Madisonville all the way over to Lexington and including up toward northern Kentucky. Now, again, this only goes till noon today, and I do expect this to be the first of many tornado watches and severe thunderstorm watches that we're seeing. Also, other threats in this watch are max hail of 1.5 inches, max wind gusts of 75 mile per hour, and quite a strong first little wave here, if you will. So again, that covers pretty much everyone from the Western Kentucky parkways and parkways down there to the southern portions of Kentucky, all the way up to the north here, closer to the border of Kentucky and Indiana. And for those of you that are asking about time frames or who's in the worst or whatever it might be, I want to point out to you that the Storm Prediction Center has pretty much all of Kentucky in the risk for strong weather today. Let me go ahead and pull this back up here. We have an enhanced level 3 out of 5 risk for pretty much all of the state. In northern portions of the state, a level 4 out of 5 risk exists in that red zone, and a level 2 out of 5 risk exists for Western Kentucky, which, by the way, just put out 3 different tornado warnings for a level 2 out of 5 risk. So you kind of just tell it doesn't really matter what color you're in at this point, whatever fancy color that you're getting. And the point of the fact is, a pretty substantial day is on tap for Kentucky. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to scare anyone. That is just the absolute fact. All right. And so it doesn't really matter what county you're in. The timing is the same pretty much anywhere from now until about 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time, off and on. The threat exists because we are going to be in a steady state atmosphere, which basically means that regardless of how many rounds that we get, right, the atmosphere is going to stay the same level of juice. So we're in a kind of a day where anything can go at any time, and they're going to have plenty of energy to work with at almost all times. I mean, here it is at 7 a.m. We've already had 5 tornado warnings produced, right? So that kind of gives you an idea of what to expect for the rest of the day when we get into more heating, when we get into more favorable time frames for storms and severe storms to exist. Driving to Tennessee wouldn't even help you escape. Look at that. It goes all the way down to Tennessee as well. So a pretty large day today. Pretty much all the way from Ohio all the way down to Georgia and Alabama. Lost me on YouTube, no sound. Is there anyone on YouTube not having or having any issues with no audio? By the way, thank you to YouTube. We just hit our viewer recordship over there. I appreciate you guys. I can hear you. I thought so. So usually when it's just an audio issue, it's something on the other person's end. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Saucy, Stacy. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Eric. We don't cover Ohio. Whoever just asked about that, I'm not sure who asked that, but we don't really cover Ohio. We have enough trying to cover these 120 counties. Jason, thank you for the 100 stars. I appreciate that. Hillary, it's quite literally already starting. So it's just it's here. It's just it's off and on all day, guys. Truly, I can show you the model data real quickly. I mean, it's truly off and on, but much of the day. So starting now, right, and then it goes throughout pretty much just much of your day. I mean, truly, it finally ends for all of Kentucky around 9 p.m. Eastern time. So truly, anywhere between now and 8 p.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Eastern time is the main time frame. So for anyone asking about times for anywhere in Kentucky, because we're dealing with multiple rounds here, anywhere between now and 8 p.m. I know it's a large gap, and you're wondering why is that such a large gap? Are you bad at your job? No, you can see for yourself on the model data. It pretty much just goes all day long, and that's the real big concern. That's the real big concern. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to storm in your county for 12 consecutive hours. That just means the chances are there for 12 consecutive hours. I'm going to make that very clear. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, radars are up. It's just a matter of them actually being accurate. Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to end this broadcast, okay? Because I'm going to run and try and grab breakfast before the next storm goes crazy. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I just woke up at like 6:45, and I gotta get something in my stomach, or else there's a lot of bands coming through today. I'm just kidding, but just know there's no active tornado warnings in the state just yet, and I will be live the moment a tornado warning drops again, or I see any type of significant storms coming through. This storm is going to slowly move northeast, east-northeast, out here to the east here. So next up for this line, before we go, I want to tell you who's next up. Litchfield, Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, Louisville, Bowling Green a little bit. You're a little bit too far south for this first line. But these areas just west of I-65, these are your next areas up under the gun for this strong line of storms. Again, multiple waves of storms expected today. Today is our first ever significant alert day for the WNK page. There's also a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather for the state of Kentucky and the northern portions. 3 out of 5 risk just outside of that. So overall, a pretty serious day to worry about here. I'm going to go try to grab some breakfast and coffee real quickly, get my mind together while we have no tornado warnings. And then we'll be back live. Look for several posts on our page, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. If you don't know what our YouTube is, let me go ahead and put that out here for you real quickly. Our YouTube looks like this. At Weather Now KY on YouTube, oh my gosh, this is why I need to get the coffee. On Twitter, we can post several more updates to Twitter than we can on Facebook because Twitter doesn't block our post. Okay, so make sure you go follow our Twitter at Weather Now KY over there. We'll be live on YouTube again, on Facebook again. So make sure you guys subscribe or follow wherever you are at. Let me make sure one more time. Okay, no tornado warnings. I want to try to go run and grab some coffee real quickly. I know you guys are mad at me because I didn't answer a lot of your questions. But I'm telling you, if I don't get this coffee on a day like today, there's not going to be very many happy campers. There's not. I'm already exhausted. All right. I'll be back. Stay safe, Kentucky. Relax. WNK has your back.